Hey guys, Retire on Dividends here. It's been way too long since I made another video outside of my daily video that actually involved other funds. So I figured I'd do a quick review because I have some time just before work to do this. So BITO, as you know, it's been around forever, right? This is a ProShares ETF. It says it's the first ETF that targets the performance of Bitcoin. And it pays a distribution. BITO is the first U.S. exchange traded fund that seeks to correspond to the performance of Bitcoin. BITO invests in Bitcoin futures and does not invest in Bitcoin. There is no guarantee the fund will closely track Bitcoin returns. All right. So in summary, they basically, I guess, trade futures on Bitcoin, and they do pay a distribution, and a pretty good one. However, we're not here to really talk about BITO. We're here to talk about two other ETFs that basically, they do options on BITO. So one is YBTC. This is a round hill fund. And then one is YBIT. This is a newer fund. This is from YieldMax. So let's do a comparison real quick. I made a little spreadsheet. So first off, we talked about BITO. BITO came out in October 18th of 2021 as an expense ratio by itself of 0.95%. And, it trades around 25.22. Its last dividend was about $1.68. And if you use that times it by 12, because they pay monthly, that would be about 79% yield. That's probably not the... they probably pay a little less than that from what I understand on an average basis, but you get the point. Payment frequency, obviously, they're all monthly. Everything is monthly. All these high-risk ones, for the most part, are monthly. And their holdings, as mentioned, are, Bitcoin futures. So what about the other two? These are the two we're comparing, right? So there's YBTC, that's from Roundhill, and YBIT from, YieldMax. YBTC is also pretty new. That one came out January 18th. Of this year. YBIT, as mentioned, pretty new, came out April 22nd. All right, YBTC, they have an expense ratio of 0.95%, which is actually lower than, YieldMax version, which is 0.99%. So for that, I guess we'll give the nod to Roundhill, right? We'll give them a nice little green right there. All right, what about trade price? Trade price is $49 for YBTC, and YBIT, it's only $19. So for that, I guess we'll give the nod to YBIT. Now, most people say it doesn't really matter, the trade price, it is what it is, right? As long as we get, what matters is the yield you earn on your money. And that's very true. But at the same time, a lot of people, believe it or not, they do care about price. Though something that's $20 to them is much more attractive than $50. So anyway, moving on. Last dividend for YBTC was $2.05. So if you annualize that, that's 49%. Last dividend for YBIT, well, there was none. It's too new. They don't have one yet. So, it's hard to give the nod for YBTC, but since they're established already, we'll have to give them the nod on that one because they have a track record. Things will change, though, maybe. Again, we talked about the yield. They both pay monthly, so that's even, and their holdings are both on BITO. So that's, that's the summary. And as far as the side-to-side comparison, now let's just go to look at their websites and see if that helps us at all. So here's Roundhill first, YBTC. They say they utilize a synthetic covered call strategy that seeks to provide current income on a monthly basis. Okay, we know that. We could pull up their fact sheet, see if it's of any use. Let's see. Shows the holdings, which we'll look at the holdings in a second. Some of these fact sheets, I don't know. I don't really bother with them. So let's go right to holdings because that's really what we care about. So what are they holding? They're doing 32.15. If you look at that price, 621 expiration. This looks like the synthetic position because the synthetic position is a buy, call, sell, put in most cases. And then they're selling a call for $29.51 on BITO. So, it looks like something similar. If you guys are familiar with yield max, that's what, they're doing something similar. So I would imagine when we go look at YBIT, it's the same exact thing, okay? So, I mean, again, is there a point to this, right? BITO pays a dividend. So would you rather just own BITO and get the dividend, right? Or would you rather sell options on BITO and get the dividend from the premium? Because since they don't own BITO outright, you're not going to get the BITO dividend as well. You're only going to get a dividend from the premium earned from trading BITO. So I don't know. My opinion on that, to be honest, is I don't like when they trade, like when they do synthetics on positions that, pay a decent dividend, right? So I'd rather get the dividend from the holding. So I'd rather they own the holding outright and then trade covered calls on that. That way we get the dividend from BITO and we get the dividend from the call income. But on this one, again, it's synthetic. I don't know, man. It all depends on the timing. It gets complicated. So there's nothing really else to talk about as far as this goes. We know about Round Hill. They have the weekly payers as well. So Round Hill's been around. They have a lot of funds, so they are established. So again, this fund's been around longer than the other, which we'll look at in a second, but that's pretty much all there is to look at. Obviously, we can go through the prospectus, which I did not. Normally I do, but I did not in this example because these funds are pretty basic. There's nothing really too complicated to talk about. And plus, I don't have the time to do it. And also, YBIT. This is the YBIT one, right? It does not directly invest in any Bitcoin. Yeah, we know that. Blah, blah, blah. No distribution rate yet. And then we go here. Obviously, they just launched. There's the expense ratio, which we knew. Let's check out the net assets. Actually, right now it's worth 7.75 million. If we go to Round Hill, what's their net? How big is their fund? 24 million. All right, so that makes sense though. It's been around, but yield max, I don't know. They seem to be bringing in, it's a very popular fund. I don't think people are going to care about that 0.04% expense ratio difference. So if we go to the holdings, let's check out the holdings on this one. Oh, damn. Very, very busy. So if you look at the top, right, it looks like there's a synthetic position that expires next week, May 17th, of $29 strike. And then they have a synthetic of $26 that expires on June 21st. Then in between that, there's treasuries, and down right below, these are all their weekly calls. These expire May 10th, $25, $26, $26.50. So they are scattering their strike prices, which is pretty good. So this is a much more active and busy fund as compared to what we just saw on their holdings, right? Do they even, if I try to export it, let's see what their export looks like. If I do PDF, yeah, it looks pretty clean. But, it's kind of, again, they have the treasuries, cash at the top, and then the little money market bond. But they only have one synthetic and one call. So not quite as active, even though they're the bigger fund right now, as this one. This one also obviously has treasuries and cash as well. So again, these funds pretty much do the same exact thing. But from what I can tell, YBTC, again, YBITO, not YBITO. What the hell is the name of this one? YBIT is more active than YBTC, at least based on the holdings that I see. So I would want my fund to be much, much more active and, make moves. So I'm not saying Round Hill is not, but based on what I see so far, it doesn't look that way, right? It's just one synthetic and one call. Maybe we call it YBIT at a good time. But yeah. What else? What else can we look at from the YieldMax website? I mean, obviously they have the prospectus, which, again, some of these prospectus don't even work anymore. look at this, 1 of 30. Okay, this one actually does. Is it its own? Okay, it is its own. So yeah, if you guys want, I could do another video and go over the prospectus, but I would imagine it's the same as the other Yield Max prospectus. And I'm trying not to put you guys to sleep, to be honest. So, and then I'm sure Round Hill has their own prospectus, which will also most likely put you to sleep. So you get the gist. But, the moral of the story is these funds are pretty much the same exact thing. They do the same exact thing. What matters in the end, who can yield us more? So we'll do that. We'll track, we could track these. I'll do a follow-up video, let's say in 6 months. Remind me, of course. And we'll see who's doing better, because is it worth it to pay Yield Max the additional 0.04%? Are they going to perform better? Are they going to yield us more money? If so, then we'd buy them, right? It makes sense. If not, if they're even, then obviously Round Hill would be the option. But they do the same exact thing. So obviously they're in competition for sure. And then there's, of course, the option of just buying BITO outright, right? If that yields 79%, which I don't know if that's, ongoing, we'll see what they're, we could do the monthly tracker on that. But again, we could do like a 6-month review. I'll see 6 months worth of payments from BITO, 6 months worth of payments from YBTC, and 6 months worth of YBIT. It's way too early to compare, especially these two funds, to be honest. But I just wanted to do like a brief overview of what they do. I mean, in short, they do options. They do options on BITO. That's it. All right. And BITO is very volatile, so it's going to pay a pretty penny. So it's going to be pretty good, I would imagine. But Bitcoin is, I'm surprised they don't do it on, an actual Bitcoin ETF, because I know they're out there. Maybe they will. Maybe they will at some point. But both of them are using BITO. But okay, whatever. Maybe BITO is more volatile because it's been around longer. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry that this video was so short, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I just wanted to do a really quick, brief overview of these two funds to see like what's the difference. And basically nothing, except one has been around longer than the other. They do the same exact thing. The best way to track this is performance and see how they do over an extended period of time. But like I said, I'll come back in 6 months and I'll do a follow-up review. Maybe I'll make a calendar event in my phone, and then we'll compare them. If you guys think I'm missing something, if you think one does something that the other one doesn't, let me know. But to me, these are pretty much the same exact fund. So anyway, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. These videos are for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun and were entertained. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this. If you want me to do anything, if you want me to do the prospectus reviews of both of these, I can. Just let me know in the comments. I just hadn't, to be honest, I didn't even open them. But they're probably the same, as you would expect. But I have no problem doing it. If the need is there. But anyway, that's the review. Real quickly, let me know in the comments below which one you own or which one you don't own, and which one you think is better if you don't own any, or if you think these are all garbage and waste of money. You can let me know that as well. I personally do not own any, not one of these. But I'm not really like a crypto crazed guy. I'm just, I'm just in here for the volatility. So if the volatility is worth it, I could reconsider, but both are pretty new, really too new. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, that's the quick review of these funds. This is the comparison, and do your own research, make your own opinion, and go from there. Let me know how it goes. All right. I got to go to work, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching. Later.